So, my friends, wish you all a good time of the day. Today we had a beautiful day that we devoted to reading the Holy Scriptures, specifically Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita. I'm sure you all feel delighted from this kind of beginning. At least I feel delighted. A lot of people write a lot of gratitude. Maybe even now someone will have some feedback. You can send it to technical department, all your thoughts. Maybe I will share some of my impressions about this day. When you establish a high goal, you have to understand that Mother Nature, the whole universe, it will help you to achieve this goal. And sometimes during breaks I go to the river. It's very cold, but I like it very much. It gives a good cheerfulness. And today I had few small walks. And as I now live in forest, it's taiga, and we have no one, no people, everything is silent and empty, and still Lord gives some people from forest, from bushes, they come up, one person or two people, and they ask questions. Even though you have never planned to preach, you just wanted to pray, and even when you go to the river, to feel this emptiness, to feel this calm nature. Today there were five boys. They started to swim there, very funny, very happily. That's just what I remember from this day. Also, I go to the river a few times, and second time when I went to the river today, I saw cows. They appeared from somewhere, they just walk by you, they moo. You don't feel any kind of fear when there's a lot of animals. But today I didn't experience this fear, and you walk and you feel that everything is harmonically. A river is so silent, cows are walking silently, and even now, the last reading was very interesting. There was some person, he was aggressive, maybe he was even hard times or mental illness, his destiny is very, very hard, and I asked him, just come to us and sit and just listen, you will get some kind of medicine. He sat down and he calmed down. It was like 2 hours, and he was listening during all these 2 hours. He was listening the whole time, and he went out like a different person. He asked to read something. I gave him Bhagavad Gita. He asked if you have maybe something to listen, and I gave him some lectures, some spiritual compositions. He was very happy. So everything is arranged in such a way, when you do the right actions, everything will be harmonical around you. And also, life will give you challenges, but you have to understand that it's the Lord's will. Sometimes people come you with some challenges, and you feel like it's not in time and it's not very pleasant, but you have to understand that He arranged it. He's in our heart, and He needs this. That's why you always have to trust Him. Trust Him the whole time. Today, during the day, we read 9 chapters. From the very beginning, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he prepares us for the sacred games, Leelas of Lord, and even after some times, he describes this sacred part. At first, he describes external part, when Lord comes for devotees, to help devotees, to show them the way of bhakti, to minimize our suffering. He came in Kali Yuga, it's 500 years ago, it's already Kali Yuga. It was just a start of Kali Yuga, but even now we feel the huge influence of degradation. And Lord Chaitanya comes to help us dealing with this suffering, and he understands that nothing will help except for holy names, for chanting. And he gives this example. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami also describes the sacred reasons for Lord Chaitanya to come. And these sacred reasons are that he wants to experience the sweetness of love, the sacred part of this love. And we know how in this material world love manifests, because it just reflects the love from spiritual world. Love can be neutral. Serve the purpose, serve on some factories, and they cannot see the director of this factory for the whole life. They just serve something, neutral relations. There are also relation between master and servant. They still serve to their master because of money, but still they do the service. That's also the manifestation of love. It's not full. It's just small, tiny. And then we have the love of friendship. So we get friends with boys, with girls, and friendship is also love, but it's not really qualified. We always have some kind of profit. Krishna asks the question of cowherd girls, of which kind of friendships exist. And he says us, there can be mutual friendship, there can be profitable friendships, different types of pure friendship. And Krishna says that I don't belong to any of this category because they are material. In spiritual world, friendship can be pure. Then we have love that manifests through parents and children, and it's more or less pure, but still it has this profit mixture. While kid is small, they don't expect anything from him, but when he becomes grown up, parents expect that he will give them some benefits. Sometimes parents do something through their children. And then we have conjugal relationships. And still it's filled with exploitation, egoism. From external part, we see that there's love, but still they need a reason to love. And also we have a kind of illegal conjugal relationships. And it's sinful still, but it exists for some reason. People need some kind of difference. They can't just love people who exploit themselves. They can't. This love can't last forever. These official families, and not a lot of families can be satisfied with this kind of relationships, and that's why they fight and they break up eventually. And that's why they try to find some kind of this love on the side. And it also happens in spiritual world, but there is no exploitation. And this type of love is considered to be the highest. And here all these types of love are described as they are in spiritual world. And Lord Chaitanya wants to show this purest type of love that has no a sign of exploitation, no profit. And Lord Chaitanya comes here to feel it by himself, what Srimati Radharani is feeling, to feel this love. And this is a risk. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that it's a risk because this type of secret can't be revealed. And also he says that he's trying to describe it in a way that those people who don't really have an interest in this type of knowledge, so that those people won't be able to get on this marathon, won't be able to read these things. So we are really lucky to have this opportunity, and we might have this type of luck. And those people who are not worthy of this description of this love, they won't be here. You can give them a lot of books, a lot of lectures, but they won't even touch them. They won't understand it and they won't read it. They will put this book on their bookshelf, and maybe someone else will come, take this book and start to read. And now we are starting to prepare for this nectar. And if someone is having a hard time to run, you just need to make a pause. You just lower the tempo and continue to run, even if you're tired, even if it's jogging, or even if you're just walking. Still, you have to stand in the direction of your goal. And if you can't do this, you should just fall down into the direction. And Lord Krishna will do everything else. He's very merciful. He will help us. In this first day, it's the second day, but it's the first day of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And this day has to give each of us a good, pure samskara. And now we can also share our feedbacks, our realizations. They are already sent. I can make some comment on them. We have half an hour. First one, Alexander is writing. For me, it's very important to feel the importance of doing in order to get a connection to the higher level. And Vladimir Sleptsov transmits this very well. Thank you so much, Alexander, but it's all thanks to you. Because if I would do a lot of different other things, also connected to reading, but if it won't be you here, I wouldn't do this. So I give you even more credit. Because it's said that if you have a request, then you will get the answers for your request. So that's thanks to you. It's very important to feel the importance of what's going on here. That's what we call reality. When we look at reality through the prism of spiritual scriptures, it's important to have someone who will explain what's going on around us. That's all because of you. Thanks to you. Here, all the team who organizes this, people are thankful. And thank you for opportunity to participate in reading the Holy Scriptures. Together with you, from start to end, I ran through the first marathon, and I'm so happy to participate in the second one. The heart feels with deep into the sacred knowledge. Thank you so much, Tatiana. And the fact that you are running the second marathon, that's very good. In such a way, you can run to the end of your life and achieve the goal that you need. The Lord looks at our motives and our efforts, and some things is very hard to achieve, but motive and effort is the main thing, and Lord always counts on that. And if you put such kind of efforts here, that's very good. You will succeed. Thank you so much for useful things of this marathon. The layers of coverage has been taken away. Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita was standing for 2 years on my bookshelf, and now ice has moved. Tamara is writing. This coverage will be taken away layer by layer, as you said. Our consciousness is like a sponge. When it touches the water, it starts to suck the water inside. And in our case, when we're reading this preciousness of spiritual scriptures, we suck in them as a sponge. And during this process, this dirt that covers our consciousness will be taken layer by layer. This method is very simple. You just listen to Leelas, to pastimes of Lord. And main thing is to make it carefully. For example, people are telling jokes. If someone is listening very carefully and attentively, you have to understand that this person will continue to retell these jokes, and he won't need to learn them by heart because he was listening attentively. It doesn't mean what kind of joke it was, but the main thing is attentiveness. So here we have to listen the pastimes of Lord very carefully, because the more attentive we listen, the easier it will be for us to retell it. It's very important. And then this coverage will leave you very fast, and you won't be able to think of anything else but these pastimes. Thank you so much. It was Tamara. She says that finally the ice is moving, and now she can approach Bhagavad Gita after 2 years.
Это Анатолий пишет: стараюсь участвовать от начала до конца каждый день. Читаю, слушаю.
Also, people are expressing obeisances to the guests. And Anatoly is writing, I try to participate from start to ending during the whole day. I read, I hear, I listen. It's first time that I listen. And mercy of Krishna. It was first time when mercy of Krishna came to me from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and it just blows my mind. It's very interesting. A very interesting sentence blows my mind. You enjoy the emotions of love that's shining like millions of suns that comes out of very sincere service for Sri Krishna Chaitanya. This is a sweet poem of very high level love, gives such a bliss to the heart, and is a nectar for souls. Thank you so much, Anatoly. But hold your head attentively so that your mind won't be blown away. Read purports of Srila Prabhupada when the marathon will pass by. Maybe I will read few purports also. I asked some someone to find out some scientific explanation for things that happen there in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and I will read about it. Elena is writing, thank you so much for marathon. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita it's said that
Спасибо вам за такой вопрос. На самом деле это очень важный вопрос.
That when you chant Mahamantra, you need to have this trembling in the body and tears in your eyes. And when you have no tears and no trembling, it means that your heart is closed. And thank you so much for this question, because it's a very important question. You have to understand one very important moment. It's important in spiritual life. And all people who stepped on this spiritual path and who saw this moment, they are very successful. Mahamantra is a method of achieving the goal, and the goal itself. So Mahamantra is goal and the method at the same time. Mahamantra is Krishna himself. Hare Krishna, we address ourselves to Radharani, Hare. She's his internal potential. And then, after that, we turn to Krishna. So we ask Radharani to engage us in service for Krishna. And when you chant Mahamantra, you call Krishna. And Mahamantra is a purifying method. At first, this chanting will be offensive, because we have different other desires. We will think about different material desires. Even if we don't want, it will still happen, but still we need to continue chanting, because it will do the whole job. It will get rid of all these disturbing things, and then this mantra will become purifying, and after that it will become clean. So don't expect that someday you will get this trembling, you will roll on the floor, you will say some strange words. Don't expect for this. Lord will give you all this ecstasy when He will want. You can't buy Krishna with anything. You can buy Him with money, with austerities. These all things don't work. There's an example. Imagine a fence, a huge fence made of stone, and you need to go through this fence. There's a door, there's a peephole, and you need a key. And this fence is rounded, and inside there's some kind of precious thing. There will be 3 fences. The key is knowledge. You first get the knowledge, the spiritual knowledge, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. And then this door will be opened. Then you will face another door. Still you will have a key. And what kind of key is that? The second key is action. You have to practice. You have to use sadhana bhakti. You read books, you wake up in the morning, you chant Mahamantra, you do it sincerely, you chant sincerely the prayings of your tradition, then you follow rules and regulation, you eat properly, you get responsibility in family, you go to job, you don't expect anything, and then you will open with this door, with this key, another door. And there's a third door, which contains the real precious thing inside. And this precious is Krishna. And you will see this door, but there will be no key, and there will be no peephole. Why? Because this door is opened from outside, from behind. Krishna himself will open this door, and when he will open it? Whenever he wants. He is just watching at our efforts, and He will open everything when He wants. And don't expect for this ecstasy, because it's egoism. And Krishna won't open this door if we just want to enjoy it. Do it without wanting any profit, and it will happen. Don't develop ecstasy, don't develop anything else. Develop love for Krishna. This ecstasy will come by himself. If you will have love, ecstasy will come automatically. The sense of our lives is to love Krishna. And experiencing this happiness is our nature. And why we don't feel this natural thing is just because we have a coverage of this iron inside. And what kind of iron is this? It's just this dirt, is anger, and all these things that cover our heart. So you have to simply chant this Maha Mantra and make it carefully. You read scriptures, you perform devotional service, and step by step it will go away. The main thing is to chant Maha Mantra.
Благодарю вас, уже второй марафон с вами. После первого марафона появилось желание распространять Шримад Бхагаватам. Супер, Маншук.
Маншук Дасчанова. Very beautiful name you have.
Экстаза к вам подбирается, раз проявилось такое желание. Это очень хорошее желание.
Thank you. It's my second marathon with you. After first marathon, I get a desire to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam. Oh, it's super desire. That means that this symptom of ecstasy is coming close to you, because you have this desire. Me and my friends, we gathered some money and bought Srimad Bhagavatam, all the cantos, to our friend.
Вы уже играете, да, он с вами там, имейте в виду. То есть два танцора будут с вами ходить.
Distributing books is a spiritual practice. It's Leela's pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. If you distribute books of Srila Prabhupada, you already participate in pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, and he's there with you. There will be two dancers with you, Lord Chaitanya and Srila Prabhupada, because books are Srila Prabhupada. He is preaching from these books. Prabhupada told this himself. All you have to do is give a person a book. I will be preaching through this book. But the situations that occurs when you distribute the books, Lord Chaitanya arranges them, because he is inside of every atom. And he gives you those people who will help you to get rid of some dirt inside of you. They can tell you something good or bad. You don't have to react. You have to be like a goose. When water don't touch you, it just flows by. And you have to understand that it's all made for you. And it's an amazing dance of Lord Chaitanya. And if you want to get inspired, I wrote one book. It's called Sankirtana Yagya, or Rasa Dance of Lord Chaitanya in Kali Yuga. And there I describe all my main pastimes during book distribution. It will help you to get powers to distribute books. And you have to understand that Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya will look carefully at you when you will start distributing. Thank you so much for realization. So Irina Polikarpova is writing, thank you for all organizers. I understand that this marathon is nectar of Lord Chaitanya, and I will remember this for all my life. Super, let this help you. It's a very good meditation that you have. Remember this till the end of your life. If you will succeed in this, you will go back home. And Krishna says that you have to remember about me and think about me. Manas means mind. Think about me.
Чтобы я почитал немножко, формат другой сделаем, завтра подведение итогов такое будет. А сейчас давайте еще тогда дочитаем.
As far as I understand, I won't be able to read some purports. Maybe tomorrow I'll be able to read some purports by Srila Prabhupada. Tomorrow we will make a different format of these conclusions. Now we will continue reading realizations. Again, Elena Mironova is thankful for all the team. After your answers, a very, very full clarity, I feel, a full clarity. But this is mutual. Marina, such a huge happiness happens when I listen interactive association with Valmiki Prabhu, and I understand that here it is. Finally, I can see the feedback on my realizations. It's been so long since I couldn't find a mentor who will help me, who won't envy, who won't stop me in my development. And so many things happen in your mind when some kind of miracle happened to you, and sometimes you don't have any seniors who can give you the proper feedback. Srila Prabhupada connected me to you and ordered me to continue this path. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yeah, it's all the mercy of Prabhupada. Everything was done by Prabhupada, it's a fact. We just help him. So we have 10 minutes and I want to read a purport by Prabhupada to 10th chapter, which we will read tomorrow. It's a first purport. This is from description of first chapter Adi Lila. Very interesting thing Srila Prabhupada writes. Since we belong to this chain of disciplic succession from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this edition of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita will contain nothing newly manufactured by our tiny brains, but only remnants of food originally eaten by the Lord Himself. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't belong to the mundane plane of the three qualitative modes. He belongs to the transcendental plane beyond the reach of the imperfect sense perception of a living being. Even the most erudite, mundane scholar cannot approach the transcendental plane unless he submits himself to transcendental sound with a receptive mood. For in that mood, only can one realize the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What will be described here, therefore, has nothing to do with the experimental thoughts created by the speculative habits of inert minds. The subject matter of this book is not a mental concoction, but a factual spiritual experience that one can realize only by accepting the line of disciplic succession described above. This is very long, I won't read the whole thing. We will just make a conclusion of this day. Again, thank you so much for your realizations. Thank you for your openness that you write so sincerely such important things. It will be useful for a lot of people. Thank you. And tomorrow we will also start reading the books. Please participate the way you can. And we will think, and you also can think. if it will be a good idea to include an additional part about Chaitanya Bhagavatam. We will think if we will be able to include it in the process of our marathon. Will we be able to do it? But still we will think about it because we really want to understand it. We read how Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami glorified Vrindavan Das Thakur, and now we want to have something on a dessert. I think we will have blessings, and we will be able to include it in the whole process. But be ready, because if we will decide to include it, we will need to also have additional time. We will need additional 2 hours a day. So we usually read 6 hours, and now it will become 8 hours. So we will try to meditate on Chaitanya Bhagavatam so that we will be fed up with everything. The main thing is not to overeat. If you feel that it's too much, make a pause, and then you can read it by yourself. Thank you so much for everybody. Again, I wish you good health. Wish you a good dreams filled with pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. Let your heart become very calm. And all the people who don't participate in this marathon, we will continue what we started with all our team. We have a lot of participants of this marathon, and it's for the benefit of all the living beings. And we don't expect anything. We don't expect any profit or any glorification. We don't need it. We need Lord Chaitanya, so that he would dance in our consciousness. It's said that if we will chant holy name carefully and attentively, Krishna will be dancing on our tongue, and you will feel it. I wish it for everybody to feel this happiness. I wish everything best for you. Goodbye. See you later.
Всем желаю это ощутить, это счастье. Всего доброго всем. До новых встреч. До свидания.